Our speaker has joined.
Okay, should I start?
Yes.
Prajanjita?
Yes. Start it.
One minute, please.
Sorry, I could not.
It's okay. Okay.
I was
So,
sent up with the director there for some work. Namaste, madam.
namaste.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Namaste.
So, a very good afternoon to our distinguished resource person, respected principal madam, all my dear colleagues, and distinguished participants here in Google Meet, as well as in YouTube, where maximum of the participants are present. This webinar is also being casted in YouTube. I, Dr. Shilajit Barua, welcome you all on behalf of Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Vijayanagar Jyotish Roy College, to this national level e-workshop on qualitative matrices and quantitative matrices data validation for assessment of higher education institutes by NAC, jointly organized by Internal Quality Assurance Cell, IQAC, and Department of Library, Vijayanagar Jyotish Roy College, Kolkata. Since March 2020, since the onset of COVID-19 pandemic, educational institutes have been shut down, but these had opened new avenues for online interactive sessions, and we are lucky enough to hear from experts in various fields. Our today's webinar focuses on parameters for NAC assessment. The prime agenda of NAC is to assess and accredit institutions of higher education with all objective of helping them to work continuously to improve the quality of education. As we all know, the accreditation procedure is being carried out at regular intervals and is based on internal quality of every institute with respect to teaching learning process, research, infrastructural facilities, societal activities, etc. The quality of an institute is analyzed based on several qualitative and quantitative parameters, and subsequently matrices are calculated. Our today's resource person would focus on these parameters. But firstly, I would like to welcome our head of the institution, Dr. Rajashree Niyogi, Principal, Vijayanagar Jyotish Roy College, who had been our constant inspiration behind organizing several webinars and played a major role during our previous NAC assessment and has been the major leading force behind achieving our current NAC status. To deliver her welcome address. Madam.
Good afternoon. Myself, Dr. Rajashree Niyogi, Principal, Vijayanagar Jyotish Roy College, would like to welcome all the respectable participants and our distinguished resource person, Dr. Ganesh Anand Hegde, in this webinar on data validation procedure during accreditation by NAC, and it is organized by IQAC of Vijayanagar Jyotish Roy College. I would like to congratulate entire team of Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Vijayanagar Jyotish Roy College for organizing this very essential and very meaningful webinar. We are really grateful to Dr. Hegde that he has given his kind consent to present this webinar. As all of us know that, and also we are experiencing that we are passing through very bad days due to pandemic, but we can't stop our academic activity. And we are trying to resume our academic as well as administrative activity. We are trying to resume our academic activity through different web platforms. In this regard, I want to share few words regarding my experience related to NAC. I faced accreditation procedure as NAC and IQAC coordinator in 2016 in a college. Next year, in 2017, also I faced accreditation procedure by NAC as principal in this Vijayanagar Jyotish Roy College. Also, I have some experience in 2004 as a core member of Internal College NAC committee during NAC visit. So every time, especially during 2016 and 2017, I have realized that the evaluation procedure is not only very scientific, but also help every institution to achieve academic excellence. And it is my perception that if we are trying continuously, seriously, honestly to develop our institution and also to develop ourselves to achieve academic excellence, we don't need to bother about the NAC accreditation except some technical problems or some technicalities. But I don't want to longer my experience or longer my speech. We are eagerly waiting to hear from Dr. Hegde, and I hope and I wish that this session will be very interesting and very interactive as well. And once again, a big thanks from the core of our heart to our respectable speaker, Dr. Hegde. And finally, I would also like to welcome all the participants, and I'd like to inform that so far my information is concerned, two principals have registered themselves to join this webinar. One, Dr. Manush Kumar Boito from Malda College, and the other person, Dr. Ramkrishna Prasad Chakraborty from KK Das College. Welcome, sir, and welcome all the participants and our respectable speaker. I hope that this session will be very interesting, and I want to hand it over to Dr. Bodua. Please continue.
Thank you, madam, for your inspiring welcome speech. Next, I would like to I'd like to call Dr. Shampa Devnath, Joint Coordinator of Internal Quality Assurance Cell, to introduce our today's resource person.
Thank you, Dr. Bodua. Now, I will introduce Dr. Ganesh Anand Hegde. Dr. Ganesh Anand Hegde is advisor of NAC, an autonomous institution of UGC MHRD. He has committed himself to the realm of higher education. He holds a doctorate degree in mass communication and journalism from the University of Mysore. He is an eminent educationist with a strong heritage of professional expertise. He served as the publication executive in the Department of Science and Technology, Vigyan Prosher, Government of India, New Delhi. In 1996, he joined the NAC and is presently its advisor, contributing to the council with unflinching devotion. He was instrumental in bringing out the manual, guidelines, and publication in the initial years of NAC. He has organized many workshops on assessment and accreditation in national levels of principals and faculty members. He has conducted several assessors training programs at NAC for vice chancellors, professors, and principals who will visit the higher education institution NAC peer team. He has successfully coordinated more than 900 institutions of higher learning for NAC's process of assessment and accreditation. His career is adorned with remarkable performances. He has participated and contributed to national and international seminars on higher education, assessment and accreditation, internal quality assurance system, quality in teachers' education, best practice, and APON online discussion, so on. He has been elected in March 2013 as Board of Directors for International Network of Quality Assurance Agencies in Higher Education. This institute was established in 1991, is a worldwide association of over 200 organizations of quality assurance agencies. He has co-authored 2 books, one on IQAC and other is State-wise Analysis of Punjab. Dr. Hegre has recently written a book on information communication technology and higher education. He has coordinated the review of 66 academic staff colleges of UGC across the nation. So, it is a great privilege to us to join the lecture session of eminent speaker Dr. Hegre. Let us join the session. Thank you, sir.
Namaste. Hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
I'm audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Thank you. I'll just share my screen.
Please, Shilajit, Dr. Bodua, please guide him.
Kindly make me to share the screen, sir.
Yes, sir. In the left corner, there is present now. First,
Okay.
sir, you have
Yes,
to
sir.
open.
I got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Is
Thank you,
it
sir.
visible to you, sir?
Yes.
Is it visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank
Sir,
you. Thank you.
please make a full screen mode of the presentation. Then it will be, because it has ready. Yes, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to share a few words with you. And I take this opportunity to thank the Dr. Rajashri Niyogi, the principal of the college, and also Dr. Sampa Devnath, madam, for untiring efforts, making sure that today the webinar will happen and it will guide the colleges and the faculty members for the West Bengal and also the many people from the other than the West Bengal. I take the opportunity to thank Dr. Barua for comparing this program, and also our director, Professor S.C. Sharma ji, has sent a special message to the college for organizing this event for the benefit of all the faculty members. I just would like to take 1 minute from you to take the blessings from the Guru. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadrisham Tattvamasya Lakshanam Ekam Nityam Vimanamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Triguణarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Oh, my respect to all the teachers who are viewing this webinar. As you all know that any small or a big work, whether it is a 100-meter running or it's a 400 into 400 meter or it may be a marathon, it takes a lot of what you call background work. The background work is called the warm-up. Today webinar will be a small warm-up exercise for all the faculty members for the understanding the various meticulous matrices of the NAAC for the assessment and accreditation. As the institution is looking for the various activities, and you will be able to know that every major concern of the NAAC. There is a core value which NAAC would like to propagate through the academic institutions. It may be university, it may be a college, it may be a single faculty college, it may be a women's college, it may be a social work college, it may be an engineering college, it may be in a law college. Through the various activities of these colleges, NAAC would like to contribute to the national development, fostering the global competencies, inculcating the value system, and promoting the use of technology and quest for excellence. The first four things, if you are doing, then you will be able to see that the quest for excellence will come As a byproduct of these four, use of technology, NAC has promoted this one due to this pandemic situation. The many teachers have switched over to the use of technology. So inculcating the value system is also one of the major concerns of the NAC. What we would like to share with you here is that through these core values, NAC would like to propagate a good higher education institutions in the country. For applying to the NAC, you need to have minimum eligibility criteria. What is the minimum eligibility criteria? Is the 6 years of standing, all 2 batches should have come. As you all know that minimum 8 years will make sure that a 5-year batch, clear-cut 5-year batch will come out. It will facilitate you to make sure that 5-year good data will be available for the assessment. Minimum eligibility will be there, but beyond the minimum eligibility, there are good activities should be conducted by the institution for propagating themselves as a good institution. What is the meaning by IIQA? IIQA is nothing but Institutional Information for Quality Assessment. You can go to the NAC website. There is an apply online will be there. When you make an apply online, you will come the registration. Many institutions need to register in the higher education portal for submission of the annual quality assurance report. Once accreditation is over, every year the institutions need to submit the annual quality assurance report. Suppose if you have been accredited in 2015, suppose if you have been accredited in 2012, or if you wanted to go for the first cycle right now, then also the higher education institution need to register in the NAC portal. What are the documents is required for the IIQA? For the IIQA, there is an affiliating university. Suppose if your college is affiliated to the Calcutta University. Now, Calcutta University has to give the affiliation letter, either the registrar or the joint registrar or the Dean CTC has to give the one letter stating that these are the programs are run under the college. If you are having the AICTE approval, for example, MBA or MCA, or if you are having a program on the law, then you need to have the statutory regulatory authorities approval. So those approval you have to provide. So if you are having the UGC approval like the 12B, you can also upload. AISHE certificate is very much necessary to apply to the NAC. For a subsequent cycles, previous 5-year AQR is compulsory. That means, suppose for example, the college would like to go for the 3rd cycle of accreditation during the 2022. Now, so let us say in the 22 March, the institution would like to apply to the NAC. That means the 2021, 1920, 1819, 1718 and 1617. From 1617 onwards, you have to give the 5-year AQR you have to submit for the subsequent cycles. Undertaking by the HEI should be given. While giving the undertaking, you should follow the rules and regulations of the state government or the central government, where all the statutory regulatory authorities, what you call format, you have to fill up. Formalities you have to fill up. And there is a self-declaration will be there. What is a self-declaration? A self-declaration will be by the principal stating that what are all the programs are run by the college, which is a permanent, which is a temporary affiliation, and what is the duration. Along with that one, there is a computer updating. You will be submitting the document to the NAC. That IP address of the computer also should be given to the NAC, which document you will be updating. Now, while approving the NAC, we will be looking into the affiliation, we will look into the 12B certificate, we will be looking into the AISHS certificate, understanding, and also the undertaking as well as the self-declaration. Institution also should give the website of the institution, and an RTI link also should be given. So for example, just to give you that how exactly this undertaking will be there. There is a 2-year and a 3-year program will be there. If it is a PG, it will be a 2-year program. If it is a UG, then it will be a 3-year program. Whether it's a permanent or a temporary, those things you have to give. If you are having the 12B certificate, kindly provide the 12B certificate. You need to submit the AISHE certificate for the NAC purpose, and your name should be similar as written in the AISHE certificate. If it is not, then you have to change accordingly. You have to give an undertaking to the NAC in the same certificate below, stating that you will be changing the name if any changes are there in the next subsequent submission in the AISHE certificate. Now, what are all the things are required? For the submission of the subsequent cycles, you need to submit the IIQA to the NAC in the last quarter of the valid accreditation. That means, suppose if you are would like to continue the validity period of the accreditation, then in the last quarter, you have to submit the IIQA to the NAC. Your application should be pending with the NAC. Then only the validity period will be continued. My request to the institution is that kindly upload all the documentary evidence in the institutional website. For example, the self-study report of the previous one, along with that one, annual quality assurance report, certificate, grade sheet, all the things you have to update in the institutional website. The institutional website should be maybe password protected initially, but while submitting the self-study report to the NAC, you can remove the password so that the access will be given to the NAC during the SSR submission. You can ask a question to the NAC with the support help desk. In the support help desk, there is a column will be there. Once you register in the NAC portal, you can ask any question within 24 hours to 48 hours. The NAC will reply to your questions. Today in this webinar, I will be talking about the quantitative and qualitative metric, selection of the non-applicable metrics, standard operating procedure, data validation and verification, and also the student satisfaction survey. The timeline is more important. As the Dr. Sampa Deepnath madam was telling, and also Dr. Rajeshri Niyogi madam was telling, a timeline is more important. When you go for accreditation, you have to work out the timeline. After the registration of the NAC, within 15 days, it will be taken into decision. SSR submission will be 45 days. Data validation and verification will be 21 days. Announcement of the DV will be within 7 days. Pre-qualifications of the student satisfaction survey will be conducted within the 7 days from the DVV. And on-site visit should be completed within 60 to maximum 90 days. And calculation of the CGPA and everything will be done within the 30 days. So full मिलाकर जो है 120 days to the 180 days maximum, the whole process of the accreditation should be completed. Now, what is a quantitative and qualitative? A quantitative one is the system generated score. It is all the percentage, it's all the number, and this will be around 62% questions are there. And 37% of the questions will come as a peer judgment during the on-site visit. What are all the criteria are there? The 7 criteria is there: curricular aspect, teaching, learning and evaluation, research research, innovations and extension, infrastructure and learning resources, student support and progression, governance, leadership and management, and institutional values and best practices. What are all the new key indicators have been added to the quality indicator framework? Teacher profile, student satisfaction survey, innovations ecosystem, alumni engagement, institutional values and social responsibilities, and then finally it is the institutional distinctiveness, how you are differ from the other institutions. There are 93 or 96 matrices are there for UG and PG. Earlier, there was no differentiation between the UG and the PG. In the recent manual, the NAC has brought out for UG, there will be 93 metrics will be there. For PG, there will be 96 metrics will be there. If you look into this chart of the distribution of the matrices, there are key indicators are more for the autonomous and the universities, and one or two are less for the UG and PG colleges. Qualitative metric comes with the around 37%, and 35 or 36 questions are there, and percentage wise if you calculate, it comes around the 37%. Quantitative metrics are there, 58 or 60 metrics are there. Out of that one, if you calculate the percentage wise, there are 63% comes as the quantitative nature. So totally there are 93 or 96 matrices are there. Our request to the institution is that kindly download the quantitative metric and the qualitative metrics from the data template. Templates are there only for the quantitative metrics. Qualitative metrics, there is no template is not there, but you have to give within 500 words in the self-study report only. There is an executive summary the institution has to give. What is the executive summary? Introductory note about the institution, location, vision, mission, and type of institution which you are there, you have to give. And criterion-wise summary, you have to give. And the strength, weaknesses, and opportunities and challenges, you have to give. Any additional information about the institution need to be added. Now I will quickly go through the 7 criteria and some of the things from the NAC perspective, some of the things from the institutional perspective I'll share based on our experiences. What need to be done by the colleges, I will just share with you some of the colleges what they have done, so that it will facilitate you better in understanding the qualitative metric and the quantitative metric. In the criteria 1, there are 4 key indicators are there. The 4 indicators are curriculum planning and implementation, academic flexibility, curriculum enrichment, and feedback system. So 20, 30, 30, 20, this has been what you call planned by the NAC. Now, further it is divided into the qualitative metric and the quantitative metric. Qualitative metrics are the one ensuring for effective curriculum delivery with a well-planned and documented process. Well-planned in the sense, your academic calendar should tell. In one of the college, it was telling that when the June and the July or August comes, when the new batches should come, they will have brainstorm session. What are the new things to be done for the next batch? How exactly the innovative way of teaching learning process has to be imbibed by the teachers for augmentation of the teaching learning process in the college. So this plan is more important. In one of the proverbs says, if you are not planned, you plan to fail. So the planning is more important. Documented process is more important. How exactly your student to teacher ratio is there, mentor to mentee is there, curriculum revision is there. What are all the areas where the documentation by the student and the teachers is required? So you have to work out. That means the planning of those documents, you have to do it. That means the syllabus, the teaching learning process, the attendance, and all type of the documentation, whatever you want, you can look into it. Suppose if you are taking the e-learning content, so then you have to mention in the your syllabus what are all the documents are to be required for that particular class. So institution need to look into the continuous internal evaluation. There are 80-20 will be there are 60-40 will be there are 70-30 will be there. Depending upon the university, you will be having the continuous internal evaluation. So this will be a qualitative metric. There is a quantitative metric comes. What is the quantitative metric? Design and development of the curriculum for add-on or certificate or diploma courses. What NAAC suggests is that add-on courses or diploma courses, you need to take the approval from the affiliating university, and minimum 30 contact hours should be there. For a certificate course, the college may have their own certificate courses, and it should be more than the 30 hours contact hours should be there. Then only that certificate will be considered by the NAAC. Choice-based credit system, elective course, you need to have. Suppose if you are not having the choice-based credit system, you may have some elective courses. So those elective courses, you can look into it. The professional ethics, gender, human values, environmental and sustainability into the curriculum, percentage of courses, project work, field work, and internship. I will give you one example here. The project work, you know that how the project works are there, microbiology, biotechnology, or political science, history. You can have some project by the student. Field work, you can take into, suppose in the Calcutta student has been taken to the Malda. Suppose if the Calcutta student has been taken to the Gaurbanga, then your field work, you will be able to see that how old the Raja Maharaja's period, the Bengal was there, how it has been modified to the new Bengal, and your field work will help to understand how exactly our culture is there. So this field work will help the student to learn more about the history, geography, political science, and also the socio-economic conditions also. There is an internship you may think about it. For example, just to give you one example, suppose if there is a election in the West Bengal, so a college may have a seminar where the student will be thinking about whether the democracy is good and how you can improve the democracy. Let us say that one. So in that particular the what to call elocution competition, 3 students will win. Now the 3 students can send the some internship in the political party. It may be the Trinamool Congress, it may be the Congress, or it may be the BJP, or it may be any other front which you would like to say that one, how the internship will help for the political science student or a sociology student or an economic student. My way of looking is that one, unless the student takes the project work, field work, or internship, he or she will not be able to understand the local problems and the procedures and the process, how exactly it can happen. So number of student undertaking such project work is also should be increased in the colleges for the betterment of the student, curriculum enrichment, graduates, and employability. My request to the institution is that when you look into the various the thing in the college, you will be having the graduates. When the graduates come from the X college, he should proudly state that I am a student of such and such a college. Then only the graduates who comes from that particular college will be proudly states that I am a student of such and such a college. So feedback collected, analyzed, and also it should be available in the institutional website so that the people can take the lead. Pradeep. Now, what is a program? A program is a UG, PG is a program. What is the course? A course is a paper in a particular program. BA, BSc, BCom will have some paper, and MA, MSc, MCom will have different type of papers. Now, specified number of the credits or the hours. Suppose in history, you can have cultures in the Indian subcontinent, history of India, cultural transformation in early and modern Europe, issues in the world history. These are some of the papers are available. Now, details of the courses, BA, BSc, BCom, you can have a core course and you can have an elective. So, core course will have a theory and a practical. And also the elective also may have sometimes the theory and the practical. In the core courses, in the like chemistry, there is a core paper will be there. There are 14 or the 18 paper will be there for the core courses. And an elective paper will be maximum 8 papers will be there, and maximum 20 credit may be there. For example, just to give you the chemistry, there are inorganic chemistry and the organic chemistry and the physical chemistry. So English communication and environmental science will be the compulsory paper. Suppose if you look into the specific discipline specific elective, that means suppose if it is chemistry, chemistry related economics, economics related sociology, sociology related. So like that way, you will be having a combination of the subjects which will be taken up as the specific electives. You can have inorganic materials, you can have the analytical method, molecular modeling, and also the research methodology. Finally, you can have a dissertation also. There are some courses which you can call as a skill enhancement courses. For example, if you are having a chemistry in your college and 2 to 4 papers you can have on a skill enhancement courses, maximum 2 credit you can create for the internally for the skill enhancement courses, chemoinformatics, intellectual property rights, green methods in chemistry, pharmaceutical chemistry, pesticide chemistry, fuel chemistry. These are some of the things you can have. You can also have value added courses and value added programs. Value added courses, what are the value added courses? A course which help the student to develop their own skill in their chosen field of study. Chosen field of study may be chemistry, botany, zoology, or commerce. Suppose for a commerce, you can have certificate course in the practical taxation, certificate course in the GST, certificate course in the capital market. You can have as a value added course. What do you mean by an add-on course? Add-on courses are the adds value to the program. For example, TV production, the industrial psychology, functional Hindi, health and fitness and lifestyle management, and these should be taken as a base. At least 30 contact hours should be there for any add-on courses or value added courses. I will come to the 1.3.1, which is a qualitative metrics, where the peer team will validate these metrics. Institution integrates cross-cutting issues relevant to the professional ethics, gender, human values, and environmental sustainability. As per the Supreme Court order, you need to have the environmental sustainability. You need to have some value-added courses. You need to have something gender, programs, professional ethics. You need to have the research ethics also. So how exactly this curriculum develops this type of the things, you can look into it. This is the qualitative metric. In this qualitative metrics, the 10 weightage will be there. So this will be validated through the on-site visit. Now 1.3.2 talks about the average percentage of courses that include the experiential learning through the project work, field work, and internship. As I suggested to you earlier, that some of the activities you can take up. Now how it will be validated? Now you have to give name of the courses, whether it's a history, political science, economics, or it's a biochemistry, biology, or industrial psychology. So which are the programs which you are running? You have to give which of the courses which has got the experiential learning, which has got the project-based learning, which has got the field work, which has got the internship. Not only just giving the number, you have to give the list of the student also. That is more important. Now, the field work and the internship. So which internship, which student had in which year? Whether it is 2017, whether it is a 2018, whether it is a 2019, whether it is a 2020. So you have to give the whole documentary evidence. Unless you give the documentary evidence, the DVV will not consider. So institution need to update the program, the curriculum, the syllabus, minutes of the board of studies, academic council meeting, MOUs with the relevant organization. For example, just to give one example, suppose if you are having some computer based program, now that program you will be having an internship. So you can have some MOU with the internship also. So those things also you can give, and some form you may be having a internship will be there. There's a field study will be there. So suppose if a student is going to NGO, then an MOU can be made with those agency also. So you can look into it, how exactly things will work out according to your program. 1.3.3 talks about the percentage of the students undertaking the project work, field work and internship. So here in the previous work, average percent of the courses. Here in that one, percentage of student, whether it is a 90%, whether it is a 80%, whether it is a 75%, whether it is a 70% of the students are taking the project, how exactly the project work happens. So you need to give the documentary evidences for the DVV, that is called the data validation and verification. How exactly the things will be calculated by the NAAC. There are two matrices, 1.3.2, 1.3.3 comes as a system generated score. But the 1.3.1, which is a qualitative metric which comes as a peer assessment. So hypothetically, I have put on the 0 to 4 scale, every matrix, every weightage will be calculated on a 0 to 4 scale. Now, hypothetically, I have put a 2 and a 3. For example, 10 into 2, you will get a 20, 10 into 3, you will get 30, and 10 into 2, you may get the 20. So, in this particular key indicator, the institution has got 70. Maximum they can get is the 120, but the institution has got the 70. So, you can do your own self-assessment by this way so that it will help. One of the teacher was talking about mathematics may not teach us how to add happiness or how to minus the sadness, but it does teach one important thing: every problem has got a solution. So when you have a problem, there will be a solution will be there. So institutional IQAC coordinator need to look into that, how the problem can be converted into a solution. The teaching learning evaluation is having the 7 key indicators: student enrollment and profile, catering to student diversity, teaching learning process, teacher profile and quality, evaluation process and reforms, student performance and learning outcomes, and finally, it is a student satisfaction survey, which is an online by the NAAC. What actually the NAAC looking about here? Seat filled against this is reserved, student to full-time teacher ratio, ICT enabled tool for effective teaching learning, full-time teachers with a PhD, number of teachers full-time against the sanctioned post, attainment of the program outcome, program specific outcome, and the course outcome, and also the ratio of the mentor to the student, and also the online satisfaction survey. The final student may take up some of the good project and it may be converted into the long run as the startup also. So आविष्कार के लिए हो, अन्वेषण के लिए हो, नवाचार के लिए हो, you need to involve the student. One of the teacher was talking about a great teacher never try to be the best teachers. They simply try to bring out the best in their student. So the teachers need to bring out the best in their student. And the Bloom's, Benjamin Bloom has talked about during his study, education should focus on the mastery of the subject. Every teacher should bring out the best in their subject. I also would like to share with you that the faculty also need to know what you mean by accreditation taxonomy. Now, the Bloom's taxonomy, as we are talking about, and the accreditation taxonomy is also making that the evaluation process and creating the new ideas. In one of the college, it talks about the innovative teaching approaches. ICT enabled teaching, e-learning, case study, group discussion, group project, brainstorming, group learning methodology, live demo, web resources, peer teaching, activity-based teaching, industry-institution interaction, regular reviews by the journals, by the teachers. One of the college was talking about that every Friday afternoon on the 4 o'clock to the 5 o'clock, every week, they have a regular review of the journals. So every teacher on the round robin method, they need to take up the regular review of the journals. Whatever he learned or she learned, or whatever the new book or the journals or the papers they have written, or they have going to be written, or they have read, they can be discussed in this particular thing. Then later on, it may be converted as a best practices. Now, how exactly the second criteria is calculated? In the second criteria, one of the key indicator is teaching learning process. 2.3.1, 2.3.2, these two metrics are the peer assessment. What is a peer assessment? Peer assessment is the one when online, the peer team on-site visit will be conducted. What is a QNM? QNM is the system generated score. That means it is an online, will be done through the data validation and verification. For example, hypothetically, we have put here on a 0 to 4 scale, the 3 and 2. Now 15 into 3, you will get 45, 15 into 2, you will get 30. Now in this particular key indicator, the HEI has got 115. But maximum one can get is the 200. Now, how exactly the NAAC does? NAAC does whether it is a qualitative or whether it is a quantitative. All the calculations will be done on a 0 to 4 scale. Now, the 1.3.2, 1.3.3 talks about the quantitative metrics. All the quantitative metrics, NAAC has made some benchmark. Those benchmarkers are the confidential document at the NAAC, and it is not publicly available. But the peer assessment will be done on the on-site visit. That is also on a 0 to 4 scale. So the team or the DVV should not give either 2.2 or 3.2 like that. They have to give the full integer so that the calculation becomes the easy. Sometimes what happens is that some people want the things to happen. There are various types of the principle will be available in the higher education institution. Some people will say that when हमारा तो 58 years हो गया है, 2 साल बचा है, हम रिटायरमेंट के बाद हमारा पैसा कटना नहीं चाहिए. Some people want don't take any risk. Some people wanted to take the risk, but it will not happen due to the various things. But some people will take risk and they will make that it should happen. That is how they will be looking into it. 2.4.2, one small metric which I would like to share with you, how average percentage of the full-time teacher will be calculated. This is from when the institution applied to 2018, they have taken into the consideration from the December 2018 they applied. Now 13-14 to 17-18 5-year data they have to give. Now full-time teachers with a full-time teacher, number of teachers with a PhD, and then percentage will be calculated. So this with the way the NAAC is calculating the percentage. I just would like to quote one Hindi line. उनके लिए सवेरे नहीं होते जो जिंदगी में कुछ भी पाने की उम्मीद छोड़ चुके हैं. उजाला तो उनका होता है जो बार बार हारने के बाद कुछ पाने के लिए उम्मीद रखते हैं. आप उम्मीद रखिए ताकि आप अच्छा असेसमेंट के लिए कर सकते हैं. Research innovations and extension will have the 5 key indicators: resource mobilization, innovations ecosystem, research publication and awards, extension activities and collaboration. What NAC is looking: number of workshop, number of intellectual property rights, industry, academia, innovative thing, number of seminar, number of research papers, books, chapters, extension activities, number of papers, percentage of the department having research project, grants for research project, student participating in extension activities, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Stand Up India, Startup India, and the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. So there are various schemes of the MHRD will be available. The number of extension and outreach programs, number of awards and recognitions, number of linkages, number of functional MOs. What you need to be in the vicinity is that you need to be innovative. If you wanted to be innovative, then you have to think differently. When you think differently, you have to act positively. Then only the innovations will lead to the innovative way of thinking process. You can look into the Atal Innovations Mission in the Government of India and the Niti Aayog. And Atal Innovations Mission has got the incubation centers. Atal Innovations Mission has got the new way of the challenges fostering from the product to the innovations. You can look into it. And Atal Community Innovation Center is also available for the Tier 2 and Tier 3 studies cities. And there is a Government of India Niti Aayog will be there. So it has got some scale up for support of establishing the incubation center also. Some of the incubation centers have been recognized in various colleges and universities. There is a national innovations contest will be conducted. There is an MHRD's innovation cell will be there. So what India would like to do is that one, in the coming next 2 years down the line, within 20, the Government of India is promoting the innovations in the higher education institution, including the universities and colleges, wherein Atal ranking will be one of the things which they are looking about. And within 2 to 3 years, the maximum thing can come is that one, within 20, the Government of India or the India should become within 20 of the innovations in the global scenario. There are various themes are available. There is a Digital India, Stand Up India, Startup India. There is a Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Make in India program, Made in India program, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. So various things will be there. Where there is a will, there is a way. So this is one of the small picture for you to just to share with you, that the local and the local of the India can think differently. Why can't our faculty member can think differently and act positively? So how the key indicator of the third criteria will be validated. Resource mobilization has got a 15 mark. The 15 mark is further divided into the 5, 5, 5. All the three will be having the quantitative nature and which will be validated through the DVV process. So hypothetical I have put 2 and 3, and which will be available for the institution also. So if you put the 3, then it will be 15. If you put the 2, then it will be 10. So hypothetically, I have put this 5 and 3 and 2 and 3. So maximum one can get is the 60, but the institution has got only 40. I just would like to share with you that the coffee never knew it would taste so nice and sweet before it melt and before it met with the sugar and the milk. We are good at as an individual, but when it comes to looking into the collaboration, if we wanted to become better, then we have to blend with the right people at the right time. So infrastructure and learning resources, we have the 4 key indicators: physical facilities, library as a learning resources, IT infrastructure and maintenance, ICT enabled services, library information services, Shodh Sindhu, Shodh Ganga, annual expenditure, student to computer ratio, Wi-Fi facility, bandwidth of the internet, maintenance of the campus, dynamic institutional website, and finally it is the cleanliness and also the library space and also providing the utilities with the uninterrupted electricity or a drinking water is also more important. In the criteria fifth, student support and progression, student support, student progression, student participation in activities, alumni engagement. What are all the things to be done? Free ships provided, capacity building, remedial coaching, yoga and meditation, personal counseling, placement of the outgoing student, and student council and representation in the various academic and administrative bodies. Suppose if you are having the IQAC, my request to the institution is that kindly take one boy and one girl for this IQAC, Alumni Association, where NAC is suggesting that it may be registered or it may be functional. Alumni contribution is more important, whether it's a 2 lakhs or a 3 lakhs or a 5 lakhs, and how exactly the alumni is contributing to the development of the institution is more important. My request to the institution is that when alumni can make the valuable contribution. Suppose if you would like to have a new classes will be started in the month of November, let us say. In the November, you can make one of the good alumni to come to your college and ask him to appreciate or share with the new batch how exactly you have come up in the life. That motivation will make a lot of difference. For the incubation center, for the startup, you can take the help of the alumni, which will be contributing to the development of the institution. Anti-ragging, prevention of the sexual harassment, career guidance, placement services, and facilitating the education loans you can create. Institutional, in the governance and leadership and management, institutional vision, leadership, strategy development and deployment, faculty empowerment strategies, financial management and resource mobilization, and IQAC will be there. Perspective and a strategic plan is more important. What do you mean by a perspective plan? For the next 2 years, what should be the things? Suppose if you ask the Dr. Sampa Devnath, madam, then what do you mean by the perspective? A perspective will be the new accreditation process to be completed within 2 years. What is a strategic plan? A strategic plan is the one wherein the institution would like to become the autonomous college. That is how you can look into it. E-governance, effective of various bodies and cells, committees, and non-teaching staff, financial support to attending the conferences for the faculty member, and online or a face-to-face orientation program, refresher courses, faculty development programs, internal and external financial audits. You can look into the IQAC as the yoga or a meditation like that way, or exercises. So you may have the some times in Bastrika or pranayama you may be doing, and it may help you or it may heal you for the inner things. If you could not do the yoga or meditation, then you can do the exercises. You may go to the gym, you may go to the skipping, you may go to the walking, you may go to the jogging, you may go to the marathon running. So this will help you to keep your body intact or physically fit. My slogan to the IQAC is that physically fit, mentally alert should be the slogan for the IQAC. Institutional strategies, learning outcomes, facilitating the academic and administrative audit, and participation in NIRF ranking, incremental improvement during the last 5 years, agenda, deliberation, minutes, legal matters, grievance, and tribunal reports and media is also more important. IQAC may create their own logo for the benefit of the college. IQAC may create criteria 1 to 7. They can have the documentary evidence. For me, what you mean by a documentary evidence. People will say that it's GDP. My GDP is that one. Good documentation practice is the GDP. So you need to make a good documentation processor in that one. This is the way you can create your own file so that all the documentary evidences which you would like to show to the NAC, you can create. One is the hard copy, another is the digital one. So you can create your own PDF, your own JPEG, you can on your own phototype of that one, so that easily accessible and easily retrievable data type of the things you have to do it. What the proverb says, if you have not done the documentation, that means an activity you have not conducted. So good documentation practice is more important. Criteria 7 talks about the institutional values and social responsibilities, best practices and institutional distinctiveness. Renewable energy, the LED bulbs, waste management, solid waste management, liquid waste management, biomedical, e-waste management, rainwater harvesting, borewell recharging, green practices, green initiatives, quality audit, environmental audit, energy audit, gender audit. These are some of the things you can look into it. Institution has disabled friendly campuses. That means the Divyangjan friendly campus should be there. Only thing is what I would like to request you that stay committed to your decisions, but stay flexible in your approach. When you collect data from the various stakeholders, like it may be student, it may be parents, it may be the your own teachers, you need to look into the various data is required, and you need to be little flexible in your approach also. The Divyangjan friendly campus should be there, physical fitness, physical facilities, provision for the lift, ramp, rails, braille software, facilities, restrooms, special skills, code of conduct of the handbook, national identities, you need to be there. मैं हिंदी में एक लाइन बताना चाहता हूँ, उम्र थका नहीं सकती, ठोकर गिर नहीं सकती, अगर जीतने का जिद हो तो परिस्थितियां हरा नहीं सकती. कीप ऑन डूइंग द गुड थिंग्स एंड द सक्सेस विल बी एट योर doorstep. What is the optional matrix? Optional matrix is the one for the affiliated and the constituent colleges. Maximum 30 weightage you can opt out. So criteria 2, 7 and 1 you cannot opt out. So only criteria 3, 4, 5, 6 you can opt out. So maximum should be 30, and in each criteria also, for example 3 you can have 10, 4 you can have 10, 5 you can have 10, so that will be the 30. So you can have 8, 8, 8, and then you can have in the 6th criteria 6, so that the weightage can be distributed accordingly, so that maximum one can take is the 10 in a particular metric, in a particular criteria, and maximum should be 30. So I am just coming to the data validation and verification process. Our request to the institution is that you need to look into the various terms which we are used in the HEI portal. You need to create your own HEI portal. Application status always will be there on the dashboard. Nobody is calling you that you kindly look into this portal like this, like this, like this. So you need to create. Once you apply to the NAC, every day you have to open up your dashboard. Online submission of all applications will be on the portal. IIQA, SSR, uploading the student satisfaction survey, annual quality assurance report, all things will be there online. Online submission of the clarifications, editing applications will be available in the online only. Online payment also will be done. There is no need to send a DD or a check to the NAC. Only online payment should be done. Getting clarification for the queries also will be through the support help desk menu. Notification and alerts will be coming to your institutional email IDs. Any sort of communications by the NAC will be through the HEI portal only. Please log on to the HEI portal for checking the mails or your registered portal. You can look into it. 5 types of the quantitative metrics are there. The first of its kind is the quantitative metric which seeks a year-wise data. So from the last 5-year data it is asking. Maybe 1920, 18, 19, 17, 18, 16, 17, and 15, 16. So 5-year data it asks. For example, just to give you average percentage of the full-time teachers. Now full-time teachers will be 16, 15, 14, 13, 20, 22, like that you can give. Now submatrix also talks about the full-time teachers with PhD. So then you will be able to give the data how many are having the PhD. Another type of the data which NAC is asking is about the quantitative metrics which seeks a block year data collectively for the last 5 years. So percentage of the programs in which the choice based credit system has been there. So this will be the 5-year data will be there. Third kind of the things which is comes as a quantitative metric which seeks the input data. That means suppose if it is a bandwidth of the internet connections in the institution. Suppose if you say it is more than 50 Mbps. Now just to say clicking the A does not mean that you will get the highest one. You have to give the documentary evidence along with that one, and whichever the company which you are having the 50 Mbps, BSNL हो सकता है, दूसरा private agency हो सकता है, those agencies bill you have to produce from the last the 2 or 3 months documentary evidence you have to give, so that you will be using this internet services for the use of the student. Now fourth kind of the thing is that quantitative metric which seeks the input data latest completed year, percentage of students undertaking the field project, last 1 year data you have to give. So this will be of the last completed academic year you have to give the data. Now quantitative metrics which seeks automatically calculates the response from the metrics using the data provided in the extended profile. For example, student to full-time teacher ratio. Now, student is 1,822 students are there, let us say. So, 22 teachers are there. So, 22 to the 1018, computer automatically calculates 1:, how much students are available. So, this type of the data will be directly fetched from the extended profile. Now, kindly note that there is a financial year will be there. So, financial year will be 1st April to the 31st March. Academic year will be from the 1st June to the 1st June to the 31st May. The publication related will be from the 1st January to the 31st December. There is a data validation and verification. As I already told you, all the quantitative metrics undergoing the process called the data validation and verification. Now, external professional agencies have been identified by the NAC. There are more than 6 or 7 agencies are there which are doing the data validation and verification. There is an online SSR submission which you have done. For example, just to give you, this is your SSR. When the DVV partner it goes, if I am the DVV partner, the same portal will be looked by the DVV partner. Whatever the documentary evidence you have given, it goes to the assigned DVV partner. So DVV partner verifies the input of the extended profile, quantitative metrics, templates for its completeness, validates with the uploaded documents like the AISHE document, an NIRF document, UGC document, annual report document, institutional website, and also various links which the institution has been given. So input correct. If your input is correct, they will raise a query without suggesting a different input. But if the input is not correct, for example, you will say that you have suggested that 22 faculty members are there. In extended profile, you are told the 22, but in the documentary evidence, you are giving the 25 faculty member. So there is an input is wrong. So raise the query. The DVV partner will raise a query with respect to the input, and they seek the clarification that whether you have a 22 teachers or whether you are having a 25 teachers. So there is a clarification will come in the same metrics in the extended profile also in the qualitative institutional framework also. So extended profile questions will be there, quantitative metrics, there are questions will be raised to the institution. So SSR clarifications will come in the DVV clarification. It goes to the institution for responding to the DVV clarification. How exactly the portal looks? The portal looks like this way. Number of programs offered year-wise during the last 5 years. So for example, 18-19, 17-18, 16-17, 15-16 and 14-15. So total number of programs is 201, 188, 193 and 187 and 181. So totally it says that there are so many programs are there. So what the DVB is asking, kindly provide the brochure of all the programs that have been operational during the assessment period. That means 2014-15 to the 17-18 or 18-19, you have to give the brochure. So my request to the institution is that kindly prepare the data. Data means that your brochure of the scanned version of the previous 5-year data you have to create, and it should be uploaded in the institutional website and provide a link to the DVV so that the DVV will cross verify all the claims which you have done. Suppose for example 2018-19 you have said 201. So your program, your brochure should clearly specify that number of programs are 201. It's not the number of courses, it is a number of program. So you have to understand what is a program and what is the course. Standard operating procedures have been made by the NAC to make sure that the understanding of the DVV partner, understanding of the officer and understanding of the institution should go hand in hand so that the assessment should not have any grievances. So standard operating procedures have been done and it is available in the NAC website. So for example, just to give you the metric details, document required for the verification, specific instruction to the HEIs, and need not to be included or considered. So that these are the documents, if you give also, it will not be considered. What the document is required, that you have to update in the institutional website. So standard operating procedure will be available, is available in the NAC website. Decisions on the pro rata basis. Suppose if you give the wrong data to the NAC, for example, the number of students undertaking the project work, field work, internship data for the last completed academic year. We have told the 750 students are there. So DVV asked the 25 students the selected data. Suppose if you provide only the 20, what will happen? So DVV will recount. They will not call you that you are not given the documentary evidence of the 5 students. It is a duty of the institution to provide. If you ask 25, you have to give 25. If you ask 5, you give the 5. So pro rata basis will be there. The student, the data, if you are not provided, then accordingly it will be pro rata will be considered. So INFLIBNET data with respect to the research will be taken up by this INFLIBNET data for the universities and colleges. There is a timeline will be available for the clarification, uploading the document, extension of the time will be given to the DVV clarification in the doing the COVID-19 situation, and no second level clarification. Only one level clarification will be done. Inputs and the responses for all those matrices, extended profile questions where queries are raised will be uploaded by the DVV partner. After completion of the DVV process, status can be seen in the last column. No answer change. There are 4 type of the things can happen. No answer change. Input provided by the SSR submission is accepted by the DV. Suppose, for example, if you have said that 82% of the students are undertaking the field project, so you have provided the all number of students and also the number of students undertaking the project. When it calculates, it gives you the particular year, the percentage is very correct. Then there is no answer change. Higher education clarification accepted. sometimes when we ask a data, suppose if you say that the Scopus Index Journal H index is like this way, so a clarification has been sought by the institution. Then the DVV clarification stage, you have given the clarity, and then the HEI clarifications will be considered, and DVV suggested and recommended. HEI input should not be accepted by the DVV, but recommended earlier input should be suggested by the DVV. For example, just to give the percentage of student undertaking the field project, if you say 82%, then the DVV, after going to the documentary evidence, they may suggest sometimes it is more, sometimes it is less. Depending upon the documentary evidence which the HEI has submitted, the DVV will make a recommendation. So change it after the clarification. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. So HEI, after the clarification from the DVV, it recommends completely a different input or a changed input will be there. So that clarification will be carried out by the DVV partner. So this is how the changes will be available in the portal itself. Everything will be transparent at the NAC and it will be available for you to look into it. There are various stages will be there during the DVV. So PDF size should be less than the 5 MB. If it's more than the 5 MB, kindly upload the institutional website and provide a link to the NAC. And that link also, it should provide the generic, it should not provide the generic website. It should go to the directly what is the link which you are given. The many institutions are putting the documents in the password protection. During the SSR submission and after the DVV also, it should not be password protected. Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, Amazon Cloud, and similar link should not be given. HA clarification in response to the box should be given in the box only. Geo-tagged photographs should be given. You can look into the standard operating procedure. English translated version, if the DVV partner is asking some English translated version, then you have to give the translated document to the NAC. Unit of measurement will be in lakhs or in numbers. Glossary and understanding of the metrics, kindly look into the various glossary of the NAC, what the nomenclature which NAC has used. Extract of the auditor statement certified by the chartered accountant should be there. In case of the government institution, it may be by the competent authority or the auditor you can submit. And non-compliance of the DVV, if the DVV institutions are not complying within 15 days to the maximum 21 days, and many times the email or the reminder will be sent to the institution. Maximum, it may keep maximum from 21 days to the 45 days, but the institutions are requested to reply to the NAC. Pre-qualification stage, what is the pre-qualification? As I already told you, 58 or 60 metrics are there. Out of the 58 or 60 metric, which is quantitative nature, 25% of the score of the pre-qualified they should have in the quantitative metrics, then only they will be considered as the on-site visit. Now, pre-qualification stage, sometimes they are qualified, sometimes they may not be qualified also. They have to come afresh with the new IIQA to the NAC. There is a support help desk will be there. Lastly, I would like to share with you, there is a positive deviation, there is a negative deviation, there is a no deviation and a less deviation, which I already explained to you. So, अंत में मैं एक हरिवंश राज जी का बच्चन का एक लाइन बताना चाहता हूँ. लहरों से डरकर नौका पार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों को हार नहीं होती. असफलता एक चुनौती है, इसे स्वीकार करो. क्या कमी रह गई है देखो और सुधार करो. जब तक न सफल हो नींद चैन को त्यागो तुम. संघर्ष का मैदान छोड़ मत भागो तुम. कुछ किए बिना जय जयकार नहीं होती. कोशिश करने वालों को हार नहीं होते हैं. आप सभी लोग कोशिश करते रहे एंड मेक ए गुड SSR एंड आपके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Over to the host.
Thank you, sir, for this wonderful, enormously eloquent and informative lecture. I'm sure your lecture would be benefited for our would be immensely beneficial for our participants, and your lecture will help for the forthcoming NAC assessment period. Next, I would like to request Dr. Urmi Roy and Dr. Ishita Mukherjee to conduct the question answer session.
Thank you, Shilajit. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you, Shilajit. It was a nice and illuminating lecture, but I request the participants on the Google Meet to post their questions. So far, I don't see any question on this Google Meet, but there are questions in the YouTube. So I would like to request Ishita to go for the questions till I look the further questions that are coming on the Google Meet.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Urmidi. I think.
Introduce any course, it is the institution has to make sure that the library information system is the one which is suppose if you have the barcoding, whether you can go to the RFID, so it takes a lot of money from the institution. So library information system is the one where the student, teachers, and also the external stakeholders sitting at home, they can access your library also. They can book your books also. So in this library information system is in that angle. It has been worked out. So courses should be started at the institution level only. NAC is not starting any courses at the thing. It is the institution has to make the what you call courses for the benefit of the student.
Okay, sorry, if you please kindly say that any necessary actions should be taken in order to improve NAC grade in respect to library or role of college libraries in assessment through NAC.
See, our first chairman is the Professor Ram Reddy. Professor Ram Reddy used to tell, who is the best friend of the teacher? Librarian is the best friend of the teacher. Unless the teachers use the library will not be good. The teacher should give the input to the library and use the library extensively for the benefit of the student and the teachers. Now, coming to the library, there are various activities which NAC has taken up in the criteria in the what to call infrastructure and learning resources. There is a one key indicator has been spelled out by the NAC with respect to the library. For example, just to give you an example here, library as a learning resources, there is a 20 weightage will be there. This 20 weightage means there is a totally 80 mark will be there. Out of the 4,000, if you calculate, this is the 80. So 80 may create a good sense. For example, just to give you, the institution has a subscription of the following e-resources: e-journals, e-Shodh Sindhu, Shodh Ganga, e-books, databases, and remote access and the e-resources. Now, e-resources can be done in two ways. One is the Swayam portal or any portal from the IIT Madras or IIT Mumbai or IIT Kharagpur. There are various channels will be there, and there are various videos will be there. If you are teaching the political science, you can create your own e-resources, downloading the many videos. Now, the librarian has to a good visionary wherein he or she will download all the videos, all the lectures, all the what to call documents which from the various resources, and he or she should be able to provide a necessary input to the teachers. Now those e-resources can help to the student as well as the teachers for upgrading themselves. So NAC is also looking about the various things. One more thing which I would like to share with you is with respect to the IT and the library is the internet connectivity. For example, you may be having the connectivity to the college, connectivity to the your administration, but for the benefit of the student, it is the library where you will be having 30 to 40 computers, or the computer lab will be there, and where is the uninterrupted power supply will be there, and these things can be given in the library also. And OPEC is one of the things where you can give it to the services to the student.
Thank you. The next question is kindly give an example of an institutional review and implementation of teaching learning reforms facilitated by IQS.
No, and suppose if you would like to say, as I give you the one example, shall I share my screen with you?
Yes, sir.
One second, be on the line. You are able to see the slide?
Yes.
This is one of the college which talks about the innovative teaching approaches of the student learning as well as the teachers pedagogical innovations. Suppose if you say the case study. So if you are teaching MBA, MCA, you can make the case studies. Suppose if you are doing the MSW, then you can do the case study. There is a group discussion will be there. Suppose if it is a mathematics, you can make the quiz, you can make the role play, you can make the group discussion. Those things you can do it. A group project also will be given. Suppose if you are having the BA, BSc, BCom, you can have a group project. So four student, 5 student put together, they can make a group project. There is a brainstorming session. Suppose if you would like to have an incubation center, the incubation center comes with some brainstorming session. Whether your microbiology is good, whether your chemistry is good, whether your sociology is good, whether your English department is good, depends upon those brainstorming session. You will be able to introduce the critical thinking approach in the student. So now you have to think how exactly this can be incubation center can come, whether it is a computer science, whether it is a chemistry, or whether it is a mathematics. You have to decide. Now, another thing is that about the web resources, then the peer teaching, then the activity-based learning, then the industry institutions interaction. There is a on-job training, and there is an extension work by learning, then hands-on experience, then the regular review of the journals. So various activities at the different subject, depending upon the subject to subject, you can take up the teaching learning pedagogical innovations depending on, suppose for example, just to give flipped classes. So those teachers who are teaching the science, they can do this type of the flipped classes. So depending upon those things, you have to decide, the teachers has to decide what should be the way out, how can you improve upon.
The next question is that whether webinars would be considered as seminar.
Yes, we are. Our standard operating procedures are getting changed as the pandemic situations are there. NAC is also conducting various webinars. So certainly we will consider in the future.
Next question is please specify what is mean by soft skill. Can workshop on preparation of handicraft items, tailoring, etc. be considered as soft skill? If no, then where can we include them in criteria 5?
The soft skill will be one where the like English language skill, the communication, the personality development. These are some of the soft skills. The soft skills the one where psychological intelligence will be there. Whereas the hard skill will be one, depends upon the machine, like computer, like tailoring, will come as a hard skill for the upliftment of the student.
Sir, next one is if you kindly tell about the innovation ecosystem. Innovation ecosystem.
Yes, innovations ecosystem. What I suggest is that one. It comes in the third criteria. Third criteria which NAC has made the two things are there. Because innovations ecosystem is not there for the UG college, but it is only there for the PG college. Okay, so you have to make sure that whether the college is a UG college or a PG college.
Yes, sir.
Whether your college is a PG college or a UG
college and PG and also in microbiology.
PG is there in microbiology.
Microbiology. Yes.
Now there is an innovations ecosystem is there for the PG college. There is a 10 weightage is there. 10 weightage. The question is, institution has created an ecosystem for the innovations and has an initiative for creation of transfer of knowledge. Now, if you are having the microbiology, biotechnology, biochemistry, those subjects which you have, you will be having a industry sponsored project or industry based internship for the student. Now, the institution need to create an ecosystem. For example, if it is maybe the sociology, political science, history, or it may be the science subject also, chemistry, botany, geology, it may be anything. Now, innovations comes with the student, teachers, and also the management. Now, triangulation will be a new student or a degree student or a postgraduate student need to create some of the internship or new ideas. When a new ideas comes, the teachers need to teachers need to sit along with the student and create an innovative idea so that what should be the project we can take up. I will give you one example from the our IITB, what they are doing. As I already told you, you have to create a alumni association, a good interactive sessions. Those students who have been studied in the particular college will be good in some stages. They may be IAS officer, IPS officer, or maybe in the civil service, or they may be there a good teachers, or it may be a vice chancellor or a professor in some universities, they will be there. So you need to identify some good teachers or some good avenues where your student will be taken some project so that an incubation can be created. For example, suppose if your student is a bank manager. Now, a bank manager, if it is there for the students, what to call industry-based projects or banking sector, if you would like to help them, then you can create a small lab. A manager can bring 2 to 5 computers for your student and create an ambience for the student to take up some project. In the initially 1 or 2 year, things may not work properly, but if continuous efforts by the students, by the teachers, if you work out, then only you will be able to make sure that you need to create a small incubation center, and that center you need to create along with the alumni, student, and teacher. So these three persons individually should help to make sure that an incubation center can be created. Now, one more question is that the number of workshops, seminars, research methodology, intellectual property rights, entrepreneurship during the last 5 years. So there are two questions are there. One is creating the intellectual property right, and also the research methodology. Your degree student as well as your postgraduate student, research methodology, research ethics is more important. So these are the two questions are there for the innovations ecosystem for the PG colleges.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Lastly,
now-
I will give you one more example of a college, what they have done. A college is having the MBA program. Now, a girl is having a startup. What is the startup? Pink Laundry is the startup. Now, as you know that laundry, everybody would like to keep their kapda ठीक ठाक रखना चाहते हैं. So, what is the girl is doing? The girl has identified three to four vendors, and she has employed 2 to 3 ayahs, and they will go to the every home and in an apartment and everything. So they will what to call fetch the clothes, and they will give it to the local one, and the next day it will be delivered to them. And what the girl gets is the 10 paisa per cloth. Now it's a idea. The idea has been germinated to the startup, and the startup will help you to understand how exactly the things can change the life of the student as well as the many people also.
Okay, thank you, sir. And the next question is, please give some example regarding e-governance in regard to finance, examinations, administration, etc.
No, e-governance is the one in the 6th criteria which we have what to call made. I'll just open up the question for your consideration. 6.2.3 is the implementation of e-governance in the areas of operation, administration, finance and accounts, student admission and support, and examination. So now the student examination, the finance is the one where the implementation is very much necessary for the e-governance. So how many fees has been paid, whether it is through online, whether it is through bank, student disbursement of the scholarship is also another thing. So you have to look into various ways how exactly the e-governance will be done. E-governance will be done from the admission to the last result declaration also.
Okay. Now, next question is, through which parameter do we measure the contribution of IQAC in institutionalizing the quality assurance strategies and processes?
For example, if you are would like to have the learning outcome, okay, you have a BA, BSc, BCom programs are there. Now, and you don't have the learning outcome. Now, IQAC take a lead to make sure that you will be updating in the website and also the student for the learning outcome to be displayed in the institutional website. What you have to do is that one, you have to make with your faculty member, you have to finalize what is the learning outcome should be there at the degree level, at the post-graduation level, at the course level also. So there is a course outcome, there is a program outcome. So you need to create your own way of creating your own learning outcome. This is one part of the IQAC. IQAC may take up. Suppose, for example, madam, how many faculty members are there in your college? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
How many faculty members are there in your college?
So total in 78. Right?
78. So if it is a 78 teachers are there, in 5 years, how many papers should be written?
Yes, sir.
Suppose there are 78 teachers are there, na?
Yeah.
If we say that one, how many in a 5 year, how many papers should have been written by the faculty member? You tell me one number. Every
About
faculty
400.
member at least one paper.
Yes, sir. At least one
390.
paper. Yes.
If it is one paper, then it is 75, 78. Na? If it is 5, then it will come to the around 400 papers. Na?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes.
who will decide that how many papers should be written? IQAC can decide, stating that, and the principal and the IQAC committee can decide what should be the number of papers should be written by the faculty member. Nobody, NAC or UGC or Calcutta University cannot fix you that these are the number of papers to be written. It is the IQAC of your college has to decide that what should be the number. So my request to the institution is that your benchmark, you only know that how to improve upon. Our request is that every teachers, every faculty member has to take a lead in making. For example, just to give you one more example, how many books should have been written by the faculty member? You have 78 teachers. Minimum how in 5 years, how many books should be written? You tell me one number.
Should be returned.
5 books, 10 books, 15 books, 20 books.
About 300 maybe.
No. How can it?
Yeah, approximate.
Is the book written?
Absolutely.
Maybe at least my request is that every teacher should have at least 1 or maximum 2 books in 5 years. So now who will be the persons will be creating a benchmark to the individually? It is the IQAC, it is the principal or the management will decide what should be the number of the thing. Now I am just giving you a hypothetical example for you, but it is the whatever the activities to be done, it should be discussed in the IQAC meeting, and you will be the best judge what should be done in the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Hello.
Sir, hello.
madam.
Approximately 15.
Yes, sir.
1 5. Sir, 15 books. Approximate number.
Hello. Any questions are there?
Hello, sir. Yes, sir. About the criteria 2, key indicators which includes institutional. The question is which type of program here is, and is it academic course or?
Voice is feeble, madam. Voice is not audible.
Yes, sir.
Could you repeat?
He said that it includes
Could you repeat?
institutional program.
Could you repeat the question?
It is about the criteria 2, key indicators 2.61, I think,
Okay.
which includes institutional program.
Okay. There is a student performance and learning outcome. What is the question which you are telling?
Which type of program is stated here and what is its outcome? Is it academic course or are there any socio-cultural programs?
Madam, program means BA, BSc, BCom. In your college, what are the programs you are having?
BA, BSc, BCom.
Okay. So in the program at the 3rd year, what should be the outcome? Whether he will, suppose if it is a economics, suppose if it is a sociology, if it is a political science, In the political science, history and economics, there is a 3 subject combination will be there. Okay. Suppose if it is a chemistry, botany, zoology. In Calcutta, there is a major and the minor system will be there. No. Depending upon the subject,
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
So you have to decide. If it is a program is on the chemistry, now the chemistry, what is the program outcome he should have? Whether it is a knowledge component, it is a skill component, it is a practical component, it is an industry institution interaction. What are the areas where he or she will be able to judge? See, judge in the sense, there is a 70-30 will be there. So 70 mark will be the end semester examination, 30 will be the internal mark. So that the further 10 and 30 will be divided into the classroom activities and the practicals also. So depending upon that one, in the choice-based credit system, there are various methods will be there to judge the student. Now, program outcome is the one where the student will be judged or outcome will be validated through the various process and procedure. For example, the 70-30 is one thing, practical, then the dissertation, then the practical classes will be there, and then on-job training will be there. So various methods will be there to judge a particular student. And finally, it will be the end semester examination will be there. So what are all those things which you would like to make sure that if a student from the particular college has come out, he or she will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those things you have to identify accordingly. Your evaluation method should be there.
Okay. Okay, there is also 2 questions from YouTube participants. One is Shomudra Poni. Is the new period of report of AQAR 1st June to 30th May, or it is still 1st July to 30th June?
Recently, the NAC has changed as per the portal. This what you call making the merging with the SSR to the AQAR. We have done from the 1st June to the 31st May. So earlier it was the July, but we have changed to the 1st June to the 31st May.
Okay.
Because
next question.
I would like to tell you one more thing, madam, here.
Yes.
To make sure that the SSR and the AQAR more or less same is questions are there, because when the changes of the coordinator happens, when the change of the principal happens, when the change of the management happens, so various stages the institution undergo the changes. While going for accreditation, it disturbs the persons who are writing the report. So to make sure that the IQAC coordinator job should be good, that is the reason NAC has made that the SSR will be the one where IQAC will be the miniature of the SSR, like that way.
Okay. The next question is from Hamid Iqbal. He said that as I observed minutely, the present NEP, that is New Education Policy, is basically process-based education system and less focused in mainstream education. So how can we develop critical thinking in our students?
It is the teacher has to take the lead. Nah. If you are teaching sociology, you have to make sure that what the best you can do. If you are teaching microbiology, then you have to do the best in the microbiology. So it is a teacher. Critical thinking process, development. You need to make sure that how a critical thinking will be developed when a teacher teaches a particular subject. In-depth knowledge will be created by the teachers, then only the critical thinking will be happen. So project-based learning, the on-job training, and industry institution interaction, internship. So various ways will be there for ensuring the critical thinking process.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Now there is questions from our IQAC coordinator, Dr. Shampa Devnath.
No, there
that
is
can
another
we
question,
consider?
Ishita. Ishita, there is another question
Yeah.
by Orunima Biswas that CU
No,
defines.
actually, it was already
discussed. Right. Discussed.
discussed. Yes. Okay. Can we consider the college journal publication as research publications?
It should be ISSN journal, first of all. That is one thing. Second thing is that if it's a college journal, then it should be registered in the UGC care list. That is the thing.
Then, which period is the assessment period of AQAR 2019-20?
1920s, the pandemic situations are there. As per the UGC, there is a clear-cut guideline will be there. Depending upon that one, NAC is also considering the academic year. Only this year it will be having a little problem because the pandemic situations is there. So up to the October, as the UGC suggested, so we will consider up to October, and November the new sessions will be starting.
Okay, thank you, sir. Is there any other questions? Please unmute yourself and you can ask questions.
Sir, can I ask one question, Ishita?
Madam.
Yeah, sir. Is there any guideline for FDPs? Because different colleges are doing FDPs, but is there any guideline for getting credit of that FDP?
No, right now we don't have any guideline for the faculty development program. You can look into the AICTE. There is a guideline will be available for you, and you can imbibe those guidelines.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So is there any question? Any another query? I think there is no questions. So, Shilajit da?
Okay, yeah. I think there are no more questions for our speaker today. Thank you, sir, for this wonderful interactive session. I think all of our participants have been immensely beneficial with today's lecture as well as the interactive session. Finally, I would like to ask Professor Monisha Choudhury of Commerce Department to deliver her vote of thanks. Professor Choudhury. Hello.
Monisha ji?
Hello, Monisha.
Thank you, Shilajit. Yes, Shilajit, thank you. And good evening, everyone. NAAC's new format on revised accreditation framework, which is effective from 2020, has certain changes in criteria 1 and to criteria 7 in qualitative and quantitative metrics. However, most of us had some confusion and needed certain explanation and clarity as regard to these changes. So our college, Vijayagarh Jyotish Ray College, had organized this national level e-workshop on quantitative and qualitative metrics. And what a session we had. The college had the honor of getting the guidance and participation of the esteemed speaker, Dr. Ganesh Anant Hegre. Dr. Hegre has enlightened and enriched us about the revised accreditation framework and has given us a informative insight as to how to go about this accreditation process in accordance to the NAAC's new format. On behalf of Vijayagarh Jyotish Ray College, I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to the distinguished speaker, Dr. Hegre, for his excellent presentation, for clearing so many doubts and confusions that we had regarding this new matrices, and also for making this workshop so enormously informative, effective, and meaningful. Sir, as you said, अब हमें भी उम्मीद है कि हम भी अब कोशिश करें तो अच्छा assessment ला सकेंगे. I also thank you, sir. It was a wonderful session. Now, next, I would also like to thank the principal of Vijayagarh Jyotish Ray College, Dr. Rajyasree Nyogi, for her unstinted support and motivation in all our academic and extracurricular endeavors. Madam, thank you for all this all possible help that you have extended in organizing this workshop. I wish to thank IQAC and Central Library of Vijaygarh Jyotish Ray College for organizing this workshop. A special thank is extended to Dr. Prasanjit Das and Dr. Shampa Debna, Coordinator IQAC, and Ms. Shudipta Shi, Librarian VJRC. I thank all the teaching and non-teaching staff of the college who have helped and supported in organizing this workshop. And last but not the least, a big thank you to all the participants of this workshop, without whom this program would not have been a success. Thank you all. It was a wonderful, wonderful workshop that we had today.
Thank you, Monisha Di. Once again, I would like to thank you all for participating in this workshop. Thank you, Dr. Hegde, for giving your time to our participants. And I would like to say that the feedback link for this session is there in the chat box, and in the you have been provided to you through mail. Please submit your feedback, and you will be provided with the participation certificate subsequently. So I would like our participants, request our participants to please fill the feedback form for this session. Once again, thank you all. Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam. Thank you all for your auspicious presence. And we come to the end of this session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.